Jack Ham was called the biggest addict by critics when he started pushing for medical marijuana in the NFL. But this Hall of Fame linebacker wasn't destroying his career. He was trying to save lives. The year was 2017 when the Pittsburgh Steelers legend made a shocking announcement. Ham publicly urged the NFL to change its strict rules about cannabis use. People were confused. Why would a respected former player risk his reputation for something so controversial? The answer goes back to Ham's playing days and the pain he watched his teammates endure. During his 12 seasons with the Steelers, Ham saw players rely on dangerous prescription drugs just to get through games. He remembered taking many pills himself when he hurt his foot. These medications helped players play through injuries, but they came with a terrible price. Ham watched his former teammate Mike Webster suffer from brain damage that destroyed his life. He saw Nick Buonaconti, another Hall of Fame player, struggle with memory loss and depression. These men were heroes on the field, but their bodies and minds were falling apart years after they stopped playing. Scientists have proven that playing football causes serious brain damage. In 2017, researchers found that 99% of former NFL players they studied had signs of a disease called CTE. This disease makes people forget things, feel sad all the time, and sometimes become violent. Players can only find out if they have it after they die. The pain problem was just as bad. Studies show that 7% of retired NFL players misuse prescription pain pills. That number is almost 5 times higher than regular people their age. More than half of all retired players use these dangerous drugs during their careers. If you're enjoying this story about how Jack Ham became football's biggest health advocate, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. We have more amazing stories about NFL legends coming your way. Ham decided he had to do something. He couldn't stand watching more players suffer when there might be a safer choice. Medical marijuana could help with pain without the deadly addiction risks of prescription pills. It might also help protect brains from damage. But Ham's advocacy work wasn't his only contribution to football. His playing career was legendary long before he became an activist. Born in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, Ham was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers in 1971. He became a starter right away as a rookie linebacker. Ham was different from other linebackers of his time. Most players at his position were big, slow guys who just tried to tackle running backs. But Ham was fast and smart. He could cover receivers like a safety and read plays like a coach. His style of play was so unique that it created the blueprint for modern linebackers. His statistics prove how special he was. Ham finished his career with 32 interceptions, which is amazing for a linebacker. He also recovered 21 fumbles and had 25 sacks. Though the NFL didn't officially count sacks until his last season, his 53 total takeaways are still the most ever by someone who wasn't a defensive back. Ham was the heart of the famous Steel Curtain defense. This group helped the Steelers win 4 Super Bowls during the 1970s. Ham made the All-Pro team 6 years in a row and went to 8 straight Pro Bowls. He was named Defensive Player of the Year in 1975. What made Ham truly great was his football intelligence. He could predict what the other team was going to do before they did it. This allowed him to intercept passes and force fumbles at crucial moments. His teammates called him the conductor of their defense because he directed everyone else on the field. Ham's speed was remarkable for his era. He ran a 40-yard dash in 4.6 seconds, which was very fast for a linebacker in the 1970s. He stood 6 feet 1 inch tall and weighed 228 pounds during his playing days. Players in Ham's era didn't have the training advantages that exist today. There were no special nutrition programs or advanced weight training. College players were drafted just months after their season ended, and teams only watched game film to evaluate them. Modern players get professional training from high school onward. This difference became important in 2022 when a controversy erupted. Doug Whaley, who had tried to become the Steelers' general manager, made a shocking statement on the radio. He claimed that Ham would only be a special teams backup player in today's NFL because he wasn't big enough. Ham was upset by this comment, but responded like a professional. He explained that Whaley's comparison wasn't fair because it assumed Ham would play today exactly as he was 40 years ago. Ham argued that if he were playing now, he would use all the modern training methods, nutrition science, and conditioning programs available to current players. Ham pointed out that his core strengths would work in any era. His intelligence, quickness, and ability to cover receivers were perfect for today's game. Modern weak side linebackers have to be part safety, in part linebacker, which was exactly what Ham was during his career. The comparison with current players shows Ham wasn't wrong. When you look at elite linebackers today, their size and speed aren't that different from Ham's. Luke Kuechly was 6 feet 3 inches and 238 pounds. Ryan Shazier was 6 feet 1 inch and 230 pounds. Levante David was 6 feet 1 inch and 233 pounds with a 40-yard dash time, almost identical to Ham's. The real difference between eras is the advanced training and medical care available now. An athlete with Ham's natural talent and work ethic would definitely take advantage of these improvements to become even better than he was in the 1970s. While Ham dealt with critics questioning his ability, he continued fighting for player health. His medical marijuana advocacy was making real progress. The NFL had denied connections between football and brain damage for many years, but lawsuits and scientific evidence finally forced the league to admit the truth in 2016. The pressure from Ham and other former players led to major changes. In 2020, the NFL signed a new agreement that completely changed its approach to cannabis. Players can no longer be suspended for positive marijuana tests. The testing window was reduced to just 2 weeks during training camp. The amount needed for a positive test was raised from 35 to 150 nanograms. These changes show that Ham's advocacy worked. The league shifted from punishing players to helping them find medical care. While the NFL still has strict rules about performance-enhancing drugs, the cannabis policy represents real progress toward treating players like human beings instead of gladiators. But Ham isn't just focused on health issues. He's also concerned about how the game itself is changing. Ham believes that too many penalty flags are hurting football's natural flow. He argues that officials are calling fouls on defenders for contact that can't be avoided in such a fast, physical sport. Ham famously said that football is a physical sport, not golf. He thinks the game is losing its essential character because of excessive officiating. This view is common among players from his generation who grew up with hard-hitting defense as a core part of football. The NFL has always changed its rules in response to safety concerns and memorable plays. The league created new regulations to protect receivers in 1974 and banned sticky substances in 1981. More recent changes have focused on preventing head injuries and dangerous tackling techniques. Ham understands why these rules exist, but he worries that football is becoming too soft. The challenge for the NFL is keeping the sport physical and exciting while protecting players from serious injuries. This tension between tradition and safety has defined football's evolution for decades. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more stories about how NFL legends are fighting to improve the game for current and future players. Jack Ham's story shows how a great player can become an even more important advocate. His Hall of Fame career established his credibility, but his work on behalf of player health has created his lasting legacy. He took risks to speak out about medical marijuana when it wasn't popular because he cared more about saving lives than protecting his reputation. Ham proved that the best players aren't just physically gifted athletes. They're intelligent leaders who can adapt to any situation and fight for what's right. His innovative playing style helped create the modern linebacker position. His advocacy helped create better policies for player health and safety. From his days as a rookie in 1971 to his current role as an elder statesman, Ham has always been ahead of his time. He saw the future of linebacker play before other people understood it. He recognized the health crisis facing retired players before the league wanted to admit it existed. Today, Ham remains a respected voice on football's biggest challenges. He combines the credibility of a champion with the wisdom of someone who has seen the game change dramatically. His career proves that true greatness comes from using your platform to help others, not just collecting personal achievements. Jack Ham wasn't the biggest addict in football. He was the biggest advocate for making the sport safer and better for everyone who plays it. His courage to speak controversial truths helped save careers and possibly lives. That's a legacy worth celebrating.